Charles' nightly display of wizardry. Golden State has the best record through 51 games in NBA history. And they boast 3 All-Stars for the first time in 40 years, confirming Dub Nation will be well represented north of the border. Tonight they close out the pre-break schedule in the Valley of the Sun, hoping to keep a double-digit winning streak alive. The Warriors take on the Suns right now. Back end of a back-to-back down in the desert as the Warriors get ready to take on the Phoenix Suns. Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. And they take the court with the best record in NBA history through 51 games. They've won 10 in a row, and they want to keep it rolling tonight. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett. And 47-4, 10 wins in a row, but the game before the All-Star break is always a little tricky.
You're looking at 47-4, hard to absorb. But yes, tonight you've got to focus. Remember, the break starts tomorrow, not tonight. And you've got to get past the team that's been struggling, lost 8 in a row.
You look at the Warriors, we talk about the backcourt. We talk about three-point shooting. But last night, we got to talk about the bigs. The Warriors centers, Bo and Mo, Andrew Bogut and Mo Speights were simply spectacular.
They certainly were, Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside. I love the way that Andrew Bogut came out and was aggressive because it opened up the outside shooting for Stephen Curry in that first quarter. And Mo, is there anybody better right now on the pick and pop? He also took it inside. He clearly outplayed Dwight Howard in the matchup.
41 minutes, 28 points, 15 boards. You cannot get a better night than that.
Not at all. Combination of scoring, inside scoring, rebounding, and block shots. Absolutely tremendous. And they needed all of that because Houston made 13 threes last night. They were poised for a win.
This is a Warrior historic season, an NBA historic season. And yet you look at this stretch of the schedule, and it's a huge oddity. The Warriors will not be home until March 1. Jim, they play 7 straight road games with some daunting competition.
A little disjointed, but this team learns how to play each and every game separately. They'll bounce right back through there. The last 31 games, though, there are a lot of tough opponents. Fortunately, when you get through this road trip, then you've got a nice home schedule in March and April.
Well, my partner said the All-Star break starts tomorrow, and the Warriors will be incredibly well represented. 3 All-Stars going for the first time in 40 years. Steph, his 3rd time. Clay, his 2nd. And the first-timer, Draymond Green, will be in Toronto. They got their jerseys last night, and they're ready to roll. Greg and Kalena back in the studio right after this.
Warriors.
It's time for tip-off. Here's Fitz and JB.
All right, Coach. Final game before the All-Star break. Warriors taking on the Suns, and it is a matter of building on this 10-game winning streak, taking care of business, and then the much-deserved rest for many of the Warriors. Andrew Bogut and Mo Speights coming off their best game of the year as a tandem. Simply spectacular. And a Phoenix team that's just flat-out struggling, has already had a coaching change, has been beset by injuries. Our Xfinity starting lineups first for the Warriors with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, and Andrew Bogut. For Earl Watson and the Suns, Archie Goodwin and Devin Booker. A couple Kentucky products with P.J. Tucker, Markieff Morris, and Tyson Chandler. No Brandon Knight, no Eric Bledsoe, and a backcourt that had Phoenix kind of moving in the right direction. They're both injured and out.
Yep, 6th-year player Eric Bledsoe, 20 points a game. Brandon Knight, 5th-year player, over 19 a game. You lose 40 points from those 2. And then, of course, their 4th leading scorer, T.J. Warren, 2nd-year player, really terrific athlete. He is out. He gives them 11 a game. So, right, those 3 players, you're missing 51-plus points.
Ronnie Garretson, Gary Zielinski, and Trey Maddox will blow the whistles tonight.
Warriors game.
That tap was batted out of bounds. And so the Warriors get the game's first possession. And Harrison Barnes just rides in for the dunk. He had 19 last night, a great second half.
You always have to see the ball, but you got to see your man as well. No one was watching him. He just crept around the outside.
You know, they don't really have a true point guard, Jim. I mean, between Goodwin and Booker, Markieff Morris hitting the wing jumper.
Well, he knows this is his opportunity to cash in, as does that great rookie. Booker, he is having an outstanding rookie season now.
Klay Thompson. Klay has been ice cold on threes. Steph with the rebound and a little push shot. For Klay,
I'm looking for a bounce back.
I mean, one made three in the last 2 games. The previous 4, he had 22 threes.
So we're talking 1 on 13 attempts. 0 for 7 last night against Houston.
So P.J. Tucker putting it in.
Unclay-like.
Draymond 3 is perfect. And we're 52 games in, and Draymond Green shooting better than 41% on threes. Far and away career best.
Well, no hesitation there. That was a confident shot. Draymond only took 3 shots last night. I think he's going to try to make up for it.
Tucker backs up. It was a good closeout by Harrison Barnes, but he made it anyway. And so Phoenix staying right with the Warriors.
You can see his competitive spirit. He will never back down from anything. You got to be ready to play when P.J. Tucker's on the floor. He loves defense.
Steph Curry, feed set, 3 down.
I love the way that play generates. You've got several people coming out, and all of a sudden it's a delayed screen. Comes off of Harrison Barnes. Nice job.
Yeah, so the 100th straight road game with a 3. Still tracking Kyle Korver, the record for 3s in consecutive games. Shot clock at 4. And Harrison did well, pulled the arm back, then commit the foul. And Tucker throw it away.
Hard to muscle Harrison down low. He is very strong. He can guard and defend bigger people. He will not let him into the lane.
Draymond's got Booker on a switch. Harrison Barnes catch and shoot 3. Tyson Chandler with a rebound. Last time the Warriors were down here, Jim, 22 made 3s. That's the franchise record. And it's 1 off the NBA record. Klay Thompson never be more open than that. And that's good to see that ripcord.
Well, how about Draymond Green running the break there? He sees Curry on his left. He slows up. He knows they're going to get a shooting trailer. And it was Klay Thompson. He saw that from the backcourt.
So the Warriors play the D. Bogut with the outlet. And Klay Thompson gets that shooting stroke right back. Warrior lead is 6. Our roundtable keys to the ball game. Jim Barnett, what do you got for the Phoenix game?
Well, tonight, don't think about the All-Star break until tomorrow. You got to focus and finish the game. Don't let them back in the game if you do get the lead. And I'm looking for a Klay bounce back. We saw that 3 just before the break. Because as you mentioned, 22 made 3s in 4 straight games overall. And the last 2 games, 1 of 6 against OKC, 0 of 7 last night against Houston. I'm ready to see him find the bottom of the net.
And there is Devin Booker, the youngster, the teenager, 13th pick overall. Orlando Johnson checks in. He'd been a D-League All-Star in Austin. Had played at Santa Barbara and had a cup of coffee with Indiana, so he checks in. There was a bit of a skirmish going into the Suns huddle where Archie Goodwin and Markieff Morris got more than a little spicy with each other. And so Goodwin was sat down. Klay Thompson rimming that in. So a little bit of a shooter's roll.
Well, when you're 14 and 39, an 8-game losing streak, tempers are going to arise. Losing your coach, get a new one.
And they knock it off of Booker out of bounds. And Earl Watson, who took over for Jeff Hornacek. Number of different teams, quality backup point guard throughout his career.
Out of UCLA. He made himself into a player. There was some doubt early on in his career, but he stuck with it. Bad pass, otherwise it would be a
Dropped it to Bogut.
They'll take the lot.
You know, as we show Earl Watson, Jim, I'm counting, I think it's been 6 coaches and 4 GMs for Phoenix in recent vintage.
Yes.
It's far too much turnover.
Not question.
Booker, they like him, and there's good reason to like him. See that mid-range game for a player so young. He averages 11 a game.
Well, he's shooting 41% from three-point range, and this ball is thrown away.
Nowhere to go.
We'll talk about Booker all night because he is playing with a lot of confidence. First half of the season, when everybody was healthy, it was Bledsoe and Brandon Knight, T.J. Warren.
And so they started all right, and then have struggled to the point where 23 of 25.
That's tough to swallow.
And the delay was to reset the shot clock to 19. It somehow gotten to 8 for some reason.
Anyway, took Booker. Game against Indiana, January 12th. There were 14 games, including that date. And Booker has been the leading scorer in 7 of those 14 games.
Orlando Johnson. Now, we mentioned without Phoenix having a point guard, they're playing long-rangey off guards in the backcourt. So that means for Steph and Klay, boxing out becomes important as Klay Thompson rattles out the 3. Because these off guards are going to the offensive glass as Johnson just did.
Yeah, Archie Goodwin started, and he's 6'5".
Oh, what a dunk by Chandler. And he drew the foul. Tyson Chandler turning the clock back a little bit.
And I'll tell you what's impressive about this. Bogut has to come out, defend on Booker. Stephen Curry just had no chance there because he saw it coming, couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, that was even over Klay. And for Chandler, when he's healthy, he's an integral part of a good team. They signed him as a free agent after he'd done all that damage in Dallas, winning a championship. Didn't quite fit in New York. This is the free throw. Klay Thompson's getting looks, and he's begun 2 of 5. Booker with a deep 3. And Bogut, nice box out. Jim, this is back to your era where guards just were guards. And they didn't worry about point guard, off guard. And, you know, just, okay, who's in the backcourt? Oh, it's, you know, Barnett is playing alongside, you know, Charles Johnson or playing alongside Cassie or whatever.
There was no designation at all. Point guard wasn't even a term yet. Shooting guard, you just were guards. Kind of changed in the 80s.
Draymond nowhere to go. Good Suns defense. Orlando Johnson. Bogut sending away Tucker. What a block by the big man. Steph Curry for 3. And rattling it out. Bogut had 6 blocks last night and 3 steals.
He just waits like a cat. At the last minute, he times it perfectly.
And Chandler guiding that in. And Tyson Chandler's had a couple lob finishes. Very entertaining first 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Steph turnaround. How do you even see the basket? He banks that in. How did he even see what he was doing?
How about the kind of arc that he had on the ball? People probably thought it was going to be an air ball. It comes down off the top of the backboard and trickles right into the net.
Suns at 66%. Warriors at 62%. Like offense, this is your game so far. Total ISO for Tucker. And he traveled. You're right on, Jim. You cannot bulldog Harrison Barnes. He is getting stronger and bigger and longer.
Yeah, that was a stubborn move. Little backdoor, give and go. And then high off the glass, fading away. Degree of difficulty? Probably about a 10, but he makes them. I mean, that is a shooter. Yeah, the other end of the court there, P.J. Tucker, he said, okay, I'm going to show you how tough and strong I am. And forced a travel.
Curry, quick release. He banked it in. He just banked in a 3, essentially from the baseline.
He had just ever so much of an angle. Now, I don't think he called it that way, but that's when you know you're getting hot.
So Steph's got 10 on 4 of 5 shooting. Iguodala has checked in for Harrison Barnes. And Booker is fouled. And Klay Thompson not thrilled.
Booker, 19 years old.
Second Warriors team.
Let's see where Stephen is out on the elbow. Well, he's more baseline than elbow. We're going to ask him later. I just don't believe he called that. That's too much of a tough of an angle.
You got to be kidding me. The former Phoenix Sun, Leandro Barbosa, checking in.
Yeah, he was a sixth man of the year when he was down here.
Well appreciated.
Everyone always asks about him.
So the youngest player in the league, and yet Booker plays with a lot of poise. Now they're going to give Phoenix the ball there. Draymond Green saying, okay, it's either over the back or you got to give us the ball.
Yeah, Booker turned 19 on October 30th. That means he was 18 when he was drafted.
Amazing. Draymond played Markieff Morris beautifully, but in the NBA, good offense beats good defense. Steph Curry finding Iguodala, and he will load up the three. Booker, pretty good handle, and he'll get to the line.
Yeah, he's not just a designated three-point shooter. Nice little move there. He knows how to attack when you're coming at one singular defender.
Third Warriors team foul. Devin Booker to the line, shooting two.
Free throw down. Season ticket renewals going on right now. You want to renew those season tickets by March 17th. Get all the exclusive access. You've enjoyed the opportunity to secure playoff tickets before everyone else at 888-GSW-HOOP. The representatives ready to help season ticket holders right now renew those season tickets. If you don't want your Warriors season tickets, call me. I'll take them. Best ticket in the Bay Area right now. Steph Curry step back three. Well defended that time. So the Suns on a 13-5 run. Tucker, good shovel inside. Bogut, another block.
He could easily, at that range, defend two men. Either side, get the block.
I tell you, Morris can get that shot off. Phoenix takes the lead. Steve Kerr's going to use a timeout. So 3:40 remaining in the first. Credit the Suns, 10 of 15 shooting, and they have the lead. Suns with a 2-point lead in a building that has been unkind to the Warriors over the years, but the Warriors on the road, when you think about 11 wins, 19 wins, then 24, 28, and already 23, you start to win on the road at a clip like this, Jim. This is when you become a championship contender.
An elite team. Very difficult to win on the road. Very few teams able to accomplish those kinds of percentages.
Our Lexus pursuit of perfection. In fact, there's only 6-7 teams that ever have a winning record on the road.
Right.
You know, it's always go 500 on the road, try to clean up at home, and the Warriors, they just clean up home or away.
Warriors ball.
Mo Spates, who had 15 points in 12 minutes last night, checks in. Alex Len.
By the way, only 7 teams so far this year winning records on the road.
And Draymond will draw the foul.
Yeah, we'll see what Spates does, because 15 points against Houston, 15 points against Oklahoma City. He's scored 30 points in those 2 games in a little less than 30 minutes. He's scoring at a point a minute right now.
Well, with Festus Ezeli sidelined, Mo Spates is going to be a heavy-duty part of the rotation. Free throw good. Remember tonight's game and all Warrior games on CSN. Stream live via the NBC Sports Live Extra app on your mobile phone or tablet. Stream the Warriors on the go.
I think it's safe to say that Maurice Spates knows he's going to come in and get some minutes. That probably relaxed him a little bit.
Well, when you were in bench situations, did you, as you know, early in your career with Boston, okay, those were championship teams, but as you played and knew, hey, I'm in the 8-9-man rotation, I'm playing every night.
Right.
Change your mindset?
Absolutely. Know you're going to get your minutes. That's what Barbosa does best. Attack the rim.
Does it help you if you miss a shot or two? You know, hey, I'm not getting pulled
Yeah,
here and
you're
stuff.
not worried about it. That's what I'm saying. You relax a little bit. You know you're going to get your time, so you don't press. And I thought before that, this season, a lot of times, Spates was pressing.
I agree with you. Booker off iron. Iguodala with the rebound.
It's a natural thing. Even at this level, you can feel that kind of pressure. You want to play? This is going to be a little crash.
That is
And a foul.
the pass and crash.
The offensive foul.
And this is when the players get upset, but you can't blame the officials until they change this rule. This is correctly called.
And the thing is, you've got to learn how to stay down on the floor and not leave your feet. Not leave your feet, glide through the air. You've got to have vision ahead. And Draymond Green is learning all those little nuances. He's improved dramatically.
Three misfired by Johnson. Iguodala always moving the ball, and Barbosa, a pretty reverse.
Yeah, with Andre, it seems like he passes up shots so often when he comes into that area right in front of the rim.
Well, that's, I think, with Bogut and Iguodala, we've seen this over the last couple of years. People can say, I don't care about stats. They really don't care about stats.
He likes 4 of 8 last night and 4 of 6 against OKC. From shooting, he's just very...
Markieff Morris missing that three. Curry took away that rebound from P.J. Tucker.
Iguodala is...
Oh, behind the back. High floater, call it a pass. Curry was fouled. I'm giving Leandro the assist attempt there.
Stephen Curry, you'll see him get rebounds at both ends of the floor, by the way. He has a nose for the ball. What about this little pass? That left hand of his is so accurate now. He had a beauty last night, thrown to Iguodala. And there, that is a controlled shot. He's going to get 2 free throws. I was going to say about Andre. Andre doesn't take a lot of shots. He takes good shots, and so his percentage just keeps coming up. And now he's been shooting 3-pointers very well the last few games. Now, here's a guy that was terrific in the 4th quarter last night. Coming back in after he started the game tonight, Harrison Barnes.
Well, his 19. I'm really happy for Harrison because the OKC game and the Houston game, I thought he was excellent.
Absolutely. He really solidified and secured the win last night in that 4th quarter.
Steph Curry dropping in a couple free throws. So Steph with 12. Booker has 7 for Phoenix. And as we say, without a point guard, Barbosa very smartly saying, all right, who's handling the ball here? Let me really bother the ball handler, knock that out of bounds, disrupt that Phoenix offense. Here's a Teletovic first playing time. He is a 3-point shooter. You must stay attached to him. And that'll be Harrison Barnes' job.
He shot and made more than anybody on this team this year. Made over 100.
Shot clock at 3. Len with a nice pump fake. Didn't miss the dunk, but it rattled home.
He got the fortuitous bounce there.
It was even lucky. Mo Spates, the pick and fade. That's his job. It's misfired there.
Try to stop the ball just as it comes across half court. Otherwise, they get into their offense, run what they want.
Booker's been posting up a lot. He's not normally an offensive player. Teletovic moved his feet. Mo Spates steps into a 3.
Just a little short. He was right on.
That was the 2-for-1. That was a freebie.
Steve Kerr's been encouraging him to go ahead. He has carte blanche to shoot it.
Steph.
He got a piece of the ball.
Yeah.
He's got a piece of the ball. And it looks like Ron Garrison's going to call a foul.
Ronnie Garrison pointed to the elbow. When you watch the replay, Steph's hand is nowhere near the shooter's elbow.
You get a good angle right here.
It's on the ball, and then he never touches him again. So
Ronnie had a great angle on it, too.
players miss shots, and sometimes officials miss calls. Monterey, California, the Gaucho, Orlando Johnson. Austin D-League All-Star. Getting an opportunity here in the NBA.
Yeah. So
Jordan McRae is another one that they've called up, signed to a second 10-day.
You've got to play these guys because they're hungry. They're desperate. They've got nothing to lose there except their job, and that's why they're going to give it everything they have.
4-second game shot clock difference. Harrison 3 straight on. Mo Spates the rebound. And it knocked away. Iguodala broke up that fast break. And the Warriors earn an extra possession.
Warriors ball.
And they've got 2.8 seconds, which gives them maneuverability.
No problem with the Warrior offense, 50% shooting, but how about Phoenix at 52%? They will not get a shot off. And Tucker misfiring there.
At the end of the first quarter of play.
So at the end of one, back end of a back-to-back, Warriors frisky offensively, but credit the Suns playing very hard. And only a 1-point game after the first 12 minutes. Well, the Warriors made 7 of their first 9, but finished 4 of their last 13. And so a 1-point advantage as we begin the second. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett. Mo Spates, good hands, knocking that away from Len.
Both teams 11 field goals, and Phoenix 52%, but they've only made 1 3 to the Warriors 4. That's the difference. I think in order to beat the Warriors, people ask this all the time, you've got to have a team that makes a lot of threes in a game.
Mo Spates. When I see Mo hit a jumper and it's with the reserves, it's always Livingston that throws him the ball.
He's got some subtle things about his game. He just knows how to get open.
Yep.
I've never seen a guy so open as often as he is, and he's a big guy. He's hard to miss.
Teletovic is a very good shooter. When you say hard to miss, that's what the Warriors call him. Largest off guard in the NBA.
First quarter stats.
Bosa reversing it up and out, but he'll get to the line. Okay, so I will ask you about Goodwin, Jim. When you're in a bench fracas, did you ever have a teammate come at you, or you go at somebody and there's a lot of hard feelings, and then you still have the game to play?
Right.
Goodwin's a younger player. I'm curious, mentally how he responds to this a little bit.
Well, these athletes are very resilient. It's not like a businessman, and also I just think that they forgive easily, and they move on. And it's a coach's job to bring that, and it might be an assistant coach, by the way, that would bring them together.
It got very heated on the bench, and you had players try to intercede, and that didn't go well either. Barbosa hitting a couple. So Livingston, Barbosa, Iguodala with Harrison Barnes and Mo Spates. Archie Goodwin, Alex Len, Mirza Teletovic, who is in there to shoot, with Orlando Johnson and P.J. Tucker. And Barbosa committing the foul.
Tough break there. Sean Livingston just led Leandro Barbosa a little too much. Coming out of it's almost like a quarterback there, trying to throw one over the middle. You don't see a defensive back or a free safety kind of coming in from the right side there. Leandro couldn't run it down.
I always think of Leandro in this building. Remember, he slept in the locker room when he first made the NBA. Yep. It was here in Phoenix as Livingston commits the foul. And Leandro had realized a childhood dream, and he was so excited he slept in this building in the locker room for the first night.
Warriors team foul. Orlando to the line, shooting 2.
Well, he's made a pretty good career of it, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Orlando Johnson hitting the free throw. He was outstanding with the 5 threes. 5 of the Warriors' 22 the last time we were in Phoenix. Spates will track down that missed free throw. Leandro kind of a wild runner, and he made it anyway. Well, he's got 8 off the bench.
Age 32, he's still pretty quick.
He had that knee injury a couple years ago and bounced around a little bit.
This year he's playing defense. I don't think he's ever played any better defense than he is with his team now.
That goes back to that conversation with Ron Adams. He said, Leandro, you're our poorest defender. He said, would you help make me better? Tell me how I can get better. Alex Len, pretty good defense with the block. Ron Adams is a defensive guru, and Leandro, to his credit, has worked relentlessly to be a two-way player. Iguodala's an elite two-way player, but missing that layup there.
I love what he did. He's got to get back on defense. But I think he's got to do more of what he just did there. Didn't make it, but that's all right. He made the right play. I'd like to see him do more of that.
Neither team seizing control. An indifferent first couple minutes here of the second.
Steve Kerr before the game, since he talked about Arizona, Lute Olson, as Andre misses a three. Andre Iguodala at Arizona, Luke Walton, Arizona, Steve Kerr, and he said that we all speak the same language. So Luke Walton, Kerr, Iguodala speak the language, and that's ingrained in him from Lute Olson.
And put Bruce Frazier in there too.
Bruce Frazier, yes,
Arizona
thank you.
Guy. Livingston getting the shooters roll.
It's good when you can communicate like that and have that foundation.
I think of all the even Phoenix Suns employees too. Nick Uran and Kelly Peters were down here as well. I mean, the Warriors staff has been around each other for a while. As you say, date back collegiately.
Someone forgot Orlando.
Yeah. Sneaking along the baseline, and that's going to net a Warrior timeout. 8:34 remaining in the first half. Has he really slowed down? I don't know. Barbosa loves it in Phoenix.
Esurance was born online.
Warrior lead at 4 with 8:34 remaining in the first half. Our Ford right choice with the All-Star game coming up on Sunday. These are the starters in the West. Stephen Curry, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, Kobe Bryant in his final All-Star selection, and KD, Kevin Durant. Kobe was the leading vote getter. Steph was second. Kyle Lowry, Dwayne Wade, Paul George, LeBron James, and Carmelo Anthony. For the East,
how about
those will
Paul
be the
George?
Starters. I love it.
You know, a couple years
Love that
ago,
he's
breaks
back.
that leg, and now he's a starter again in the All-Star game.
Stephen Curry will be busy with the three-point contest. Same thing with Clay. Draymond's going to be in the skills competition. Teletovic played the D that time. Took it away from Harrison Barnes. Archie Goodwin and Devin Booker, that backcourt. Orlando Johnson's played well enough that Earl Watson's left him in the game. Shot clock at 3. Bogut made that a very difficult shot, and Len able to follow it in.
Well, the number 5 pick a couple years back shows some promise.
I think he's getting better every year.
Yes, he is. Third-year player now.
I mean, it's a truism, Jim. You know, I mean, bigs just take longer to develop. They really do it. And Len had played 2 years in college. This would be essentially his rookie year, and he stayed all 4 years.
Yes.
So Iguodala denying Orlando Johnson. Andre.
It just slipped right out of his hand.
Yep.
Zip. Alex Len said, I didn't even get a chance to block it.
Say Draymond is in a frisky mood tonight. He got to the scorer's table, wanted to sub in. Gary Zielinski didn't let him, and he's still telling him about it. Len missing there. Bogut another rebound.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling. You're sitting at the players at the table ready to go in, and all of a sudden 3 minutes expires in the game, and you want those minutes.
Shot clock at 2. Does Clay know? He does. Beat the buzzer, but off iron. Warriors can't gain any separation from Phoenix. Johnson attacking.
That was an overthrown lob.
And Len had to beat the shot clock buzzer. Warriors are starting to clamp down a bit defensively. Phoenix has nothing going. It's whether or not the Warriors pick it up on this end themselves. We've got a defensive 3-second violation. That'll be a technical free throw. You know, these ISO post-ups for Harrison are executed at such a high efficiency. He's improved dramatically in that one area, and the Warriors with the second unit are running some of those now. That time the Suns were figuring, okay, we better go help.
Well, they pick their spots. It's not a very predictable thing.
Right.
And he's comfortable with it.
And for the Suns, 17, P.J. Tucker.
Harrison, Iguodala will get the rest as Draymond and Steph Curry check back in.
Warriors ball.
Hey, Thompson, good look. So Clay's got 11, Steph's got 12.
He's also got 2 threes.
He wanted to bounce back there.
Yep.
You've seen that.
That's one more than he's had in the last 2 games on 13 attempts in those 2 games.
Warriors have held Phoenix 4 of their last 17 shooting. So the defense is picking up. Bogut came from the weak side. Is he all right? Took a hard fall and is still laying on the deck. Draymond corkscrewed. And
He just made that a hard shot.
he did.
It was all there for him. I think he got possibly mixed up. Should I dunk it or just lay it up and in?
Booker from the baseline. Curry. Oh, Teletovic could do nothing but foul him. And that wizardry with the ball. And even he is having fun with it.
Easy pickings when you've got a 7-footer waiting for you.
Well, it's the old playground discussion as Clay hits the 3. When Steph is dribbling at you, you reach and I'll teach.
This message is for all Americans.
Warrior lead at 8 with 5:13 remaining in the first half. Stephen Curry and Bruce Frazier were out in the community with Kaiser Permanente during the Get Fit, Live Healthy Week. This was in January, and Steph was out at the Manzanita Community School in Oakland with 240 kids, and I would think he would tell them, if you can do my workout, you're going to be just fine in terms of fitness.
Just do the workout before the game. That's enough.
There's a good article coming out in one of the national magazines about Steph Curry and his recovery from his ankle injuries as Draymond stepped on the baseline. But there's a note in there. Steph Curry deadlifts the most on the team, twice his body weight, tied with Festus Ezeli. Over 400 pounds.
It's hard to believe.
And the whole point is he got his core stronger and stronger.
Yes.
He was trying to take pressure off his ankles. And he has been relentlessly healthy, employing that kind of fitness regimen. But yeah, who deadlifts the most on the team? Festus and Steph.
Why are they open there? Because Steph Curry's defender went in for a possible rebound.
Clay missing that 3 there.
And he just took off. So therefore they had a little 2-on-1 guard advantage at the other end.
Well, the Warrior defense has been outstanding. I mean, 3.5 minutes of scoreless, holding Phoenix to 40% shooting. There's the whistle before that 3 attempt. Draymond will pick up the foul. And this is all a matter of, do the Warriors get hot offensively in their own right before the half? I mean, Phoenix, their last field goal is at the 7:51 mark, and they're 3 of 14 in the quarter.
One of the assistant coaches for Phoenix said something to Archie Goodwin, and I'm sure he said, you know, go get an offensive rebound, but you better make sure you get it because they've got an advantage at the other end if you don't.
Goodwin missing there. Brandon Rush first playing time. Clock at 5. Steph did it. Now you see him, now you don't, and then perfectly delivered to Bogut. 12, 6, and 6 already for Steph Curry. Tyson Chandler missing. Bogut another rebound. It's an 8-0 Warrior run. And Curry shot it from Scottsdale and rails the 3.
As I've said before, everybody asks everywhere we go, because he is different this year, the MVP. No one takes a step back 3 from over 30 feet, but he does. That was probably about 29 feet.
Distance is irrelevant. Unlimited range. We love it, fans love it, and his teammates love it. Our AT&T U-verse Rewind, I think the highlight of last year's All-Star Saturday, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in the finals of the three-point shooting competition. And Steph Curry thrilled them in New York. He also brought his own cheering section, because not only was Klay there, but Andre Iguodala and little Andre, they were having a blast at that event. And that was Steph's first three-point shooting trophy. Now, how about this field, Jim? J.J. Redick and Klay, Harden, Middleton, Lowry, and young Devin Booker all going against Stephen Curry.
Well, you've got 3 or 4 people there that could upset him. He's got to have a good night.
And the big men get invited to the skills challenge. Karl Anthony Towns, Draymond Green, DeMarcus Cousins. It's the bigs going against some of the littles there.
Chris Bosh talk about
shooting threes.
Shooting threes at 6'11".
It's a defensive 3-second violation on the Warriors. Well, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have 26. The Phoenix starting 5 has 22. The Suns were actually down 2, 37-35, but they've 0 for their last 8, and Booker just missed that technical free throw. Markieff Morris misfiring. And it's not just the offense with the Warriors. Top 3 defensive team. Curry even deeper. Another 3.
He had all the time in the world to get his feet set.
He's playing with the game. We see it in warm-ups. He is, where is my range? He's testing himself. Klay Thompson, beautiful block on Booker. 3-on-1 if they hurry. Draymond with the step back. Curry, 360 pirouette and misfire.
I think he felt the presence of Tyson Chandler closing from behind.
Number 0, Orlando Johnson.
Very nearly the same spot that he made when that little step back before he went to break. Knocked that one down. There's Andre in the corner.
If you're ever fortunate enough to get on an NBA court, 23 feet 9 inches is forever from the rim.
It's a long shot.
To be at 27-28 and shoot your same normal shot is, we just have never seen it before. Curry got a freebie, and then that was a little garbage. You're going to foul somebody, you're going to grab a guy by his ankle and pull him down. I don't know about that one.
He just tried to trip him up. I don't think Steph's going to worry about this. He's starting to go. Grabbed his foot before he got any momentum going. That is the surgically repaired ankle, by the way.
That's sort of what I was saying.
But you know what? That young man has no knowledge of that.
Nope. Draymond will get to the line.
The foul is number 11, Markieff Morris, his second foul. 4th Suns team foul. Draymond Green.
The Warriors had just flat out turned the faucet off on the Suns. They had 28 in the first quarter. They have 7 points here in the second. Draymond hitting the free throw. Season ticket priority list has gone to 21,500 and counting, with waitlist members getting priority access to exclusive presale opportunities. And the best season tickets, the moment they become available,
Quarter two.
Markieff Morris shoveling it to Tyson Chandler. And Phoenix finally ending a bit of a drought. Curry in amongst the trees. Bogut kept it alive, but Devin Booker will track it down. Markieff Morris.
That's a tough matchup for Clay.
Brandon Rush will get himself to the line.
Tough matchup for Clay at the other end because he's thinking Morris can take a little jump shot, but he posted him up and he made a quick move
His first foul.
before Clay was ready to defend on that last one. You got a minute and a quarter here. You want to keep that lead and even try to increase it.
And you wonder some of the commonalities with struggling teams. It was a made bucket by Morris, and no one got back defensively, and Brandon Rush had to be fouled. The NBA is celebrating Chinese New Year with our fans across the world. Happy New Year from the NBA family to yours. Brandon Rush hitting a couple free throws. Ian Clark will finish off the half. Steve Kerr on the back end of a back-to-back trying to get everybody in. Air ball by Johnson out of the corner. Draymond trail three.
Boing.
Lob to Chandler.
They've been trying lobs, and some of them have been errant passes, and now they're trying to climb back to respectability.
Yeah, Steve Kerr's going to use the 22nd timeout that goes away at halftime and just say, hey, guys, we know what Tyson Chandler is. He's got 8 points. They're all in lobs, and we got to handle that a little bit better. For the Warriors, I think Ron Adams will be very pleased with the defense. They're holding Phoenix to 40% shooting. And I'll ask you, Jimmy, you said focus and finish. Are they focused, finishing off
I think they're
pre-All-Star break?
focused. I think certainly they are. They came out, they tried to take command here, and they're making their threes, and they're defending the threes. They do that best in the league, and that's a real key. They had a tough time against Houston last night with 13 made threes, but tonight they're running people off the line, and they are creating misses.
And those 13 threes to the Warriors 12. In 51 games, that had only happened 4 times all season. One of them was the Dallas game that Steph didn't play. So you point out what an oddity it is for an opponent to have more threes than the Warriors, because that really is their recipe for beating teams.
Yeah, and I think it's the recipe to beat the Warriors if you get them on an off night and if you have the capability of making threes, which Houston showed last night. Otherwise, it seems to me they're already starting with a 15, 18, 21-point advantage because they make 13 threes. And if you're a team that only makes 6 or 7, you're already in the hole.
And that's the thing we point out, too. The Warriors are the best defensive team guarding the three-point line.
At 31%.
Draymond with a great play by Chandler and a better play by Mo Spates.
And Curry got away with holding on a screen there. Both hands. He'll take it.
Warrior lead was 1 at the end of 1. It's 16 right now. Markieff Morris. He can score. He's got 10 points, 5 of 9. He's got an array of moves on the low block.
He was a problem earlier in the year because he wanted to be traded. Didn't like that his brother, Marcus, was traded. They want to stay together.
Shot clock is off. Steph to a rolling Draymond. Ian Clark, corner 3. Well executed, but the shot not made. And Tucker can't quite beat the clock. So the Warriors do it with defense in that second quarter. Push it up to 14, looking for win number 11 in a row. Playing a lot of the roster, but Curry and Clay leading the way with 29, and the Warriors have the lead at the break. Greg and Kalena standing by for Jack in the Box at the half. And our Warriors Jack in the Box at the half with a 14-point lead, and For the Warriors the last couple of games, the offense has been brilliant, but defensively they've allowed teams to hang around. Not tonight. 1 point lead at the end of one, and they hold Phoenix to 15 second quarter points.
I thought what they did tonight, their game plan, come out. They were focused. They were ready to play. They were determined. They came out with intensity. Now, Phoenix matched all that intensity in the first quarter, 29-28. They shot 52%, did Phoenix. But the Warriors persevered, and they finally broke their spirit in the second quarter. Terrific defense from three-point range. 1 of 10 shooting from the three for Phoenix.
And you look at it with Steph Curry. First game or last game before the All-Star break, he did not disappoint with our KFC Nashville hot shot chart. 6 of 10, the 4 threes, deep threes, and then, oh, by the way, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He controlled the game.
He did. He's got a lively body tonight, running all over the place. I love what he did in the second quarter. He took 4 shots. They were both threes, and he made 2 of them.
So that's your leader, making sure everyone's involved offensively. And then, oh, by the way, his shooting is going to give you that separation, that double-digit lead, always putting pressure on the defense.
Absolutely. Inside and outside. He and Klay Thompson have combined 6 of 12 threes tonight. They've made 6 of the 7 made by the threes. Draymond made his first one tonight.
And the first half numbers, even with the Warriors cooling off in the second, excellent defense, and they took advantage of Phoenix mistakes.
Plus 7 points off turnovers, and that is a big factor for them. It gets them out in the open court, and they get the shots they want.
No team's ever been 48-4 going into the break. The work halfway done with the third quarter on the way.
Tonight.
Get ready to start the second half. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett with you. Warrior lead at 14. Our Geico Advanced Analytic. Steph Curry has had the 7th best three-point shooting season in NBA history. The problem is there's 30 games left after tonight.
Yeah, big problem.
So he is going to obliterate his record for threes in a season. He's making nearly 5 a game, and 30 games left after tonight. But already 7th most in a season.
We've got 244 right now.
Now.
Hey, by the way, that could rapidly change. We have a whole half here to play.
Okay. Markieff Morris opens the second half with the jumper. Markieff Morris, the only Sun in double figures.
Well, he's averaging 21 points a game over the last 4 games, so he's got carte blanche to launch them.
Harrison Barnes with the 3 in response.
Well, that's all Stephen Curry. Dribble penetration brings Tucker away from Barnes. Just enough daylight to launch one.
Now, Draymond has 2 triple-doubles against Phoenix. Steph is getting into triple-double range right now with 18, 7, and 6. I don't know if he will play enough to accumulate that, but he's got that look and that feel tonight. Klay backed off just at the right time, not committing the foul.
Well, there was contact, but it was initiated by Morris. He wanted a foul.
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, Andrew Bogut. Harrison, a good move there, just didn't complete the shot. Archie Goodwin with Devin Booker, Markieff Morris, P.J. Tucker, Tyson Chandler for Phoenix. The bucket is good. Barnes was on the ground, and Booker drew the foul. And Harrison is going to be whistling for the infraction.
This is a heck of a move because Booker knows he's going to land on body, and he still had the focus and concentration, the presence of mind to focus on the rim there.
Now, that was a little used call, but I like it in that, yes, Harrison was on the ground. They don't want people underneath players that elevate. That's the old Bruce Bowen type of thing. You can injure somebody there. So Harrison had kind of gone underneath Booker, which is why he got the foul after he made the shot.
Yeah, you got to give Booker credit on that one.
Yep.
To continue and make that shot, knowing what was going to transpire when he fell.
Klay Play nice drop off. They try to get it to Bogut. He hustles to save. And Harrison Barnes hits a three.
Cashes in again.
This is what's great about the Warriors. Bogut just went back and said, hey, Draymond, that was a great pass. I bobbled it. It was my fault.
Yeah.
That's why he went and still tapped it to Harrison and got the three.
Harrison right out of the box here in this third quarter with 2 threes.
It's going to be a lob. Errantly thrown. Steph couldn't quite control it. Bogut fouled Booker before he could shoot the ball or pass it. It'll be on the pass, but it saved a layup.
Number 12, Andrew Bogut, his first foul.
Yeah, Booker made a mistake there. He had no idea he was going to be intentionally fouled. Otherwise, he just kept going to the basket for 2 free throws.
You know what Booker doesn't do? He doesn't play out of control.
No.
You know, for a young guy, he's got a lot of composure.
Extremely poised.
We said in the first half, youngest player in the NBA. Archie Goodwin with a wild flip shot. And Steph,
Speaking of wild,
the hook pass that they got some good wide receivers in Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald, Michael Floyd. Neither one could have caught that.
last night, Stephen Curry, only 1 turnover, 9 assists against Houston.
Well, he's got to win that bet with his mom. He starts getting crazy with the turnovers as Steph is tripped there. The first foul's on Harrison on a moving screen.
The offensive foul, number 40, Harrison Barnes, his second
Larry
foul.
Fitzgerald's having a busy week, Jim, because he's here tonight. You know where he's going to be the rest of the weekend?
I have no idea.
Playing in the AT&T Pro-Am.
In Pebble Beach.
Yeah. I was so excited to see Fitzgerald invited to the Pro-Am, but what me? Markieff Morris with a mid-range.
Morris.
Joe Lacob will be playing in the AT&T Pro-Am as well, as he always does every year. Curry missing that 3.
All right, this game is far from over.
Well, the Warriors are getting a little lax, and Steve Kerr, sensing that, uses the timeout. They build big leads, and then they've allowed teams to climb back into the game. With 8:36 remaining in the third, and the lead 11.
Cheese in the...
And yeah, the Warriors are keeping an eye on the Spurs, because even at 47-4, not gaining a lot of separation on San Antonio, and they meet 3 more times. Plus, after this All-Star break, at Portland, at the Clippers, at Atlanta, at Miami, at Orlando, and then at Oklahoma City. And so that Magic game comes on the back end of a back-to-back. That'll be an interesting one. Out of the timeout, perfectly run, 3-point shot for Steph Curry.
His timing is impeccable coming around those screens. Knows how to hide, knows how to move quickly when he has to. Very deceptive.
Lob to Chandler, and Bogut was ready for it.
How many lobs have they tried tonight?
Well, Andrew that time played it brilliantly. And Draymond will get to the line.
Stephen showing you some of his abilities via the pass. There's a little 360. I like that little drop back pass on the bounce.
Draymond Green to the line.
3 straight All-Star starters appearances for Stephen Curry. 3 straight. Rick Barry had 3 in a row as a Warrior, 74, 75, 76. Wilt, a couple of them though back in Philly, had 4 in a row All-Star starters for the Warriors.
3 of your favorite Warriors are going to the All-Star game. You can get the Adidas All-Star apparel for Steph Curry, Clay, and Draymond. The jerseys, T-shirts at Warriors.com.
That's pretty elite company though when you say Rick Barry and Wilt Chamberlain.
I think Steph Curry is getting mentioned with all the greats, and yet his career is probably halfway done.
Well, what's interesting too is it's kind of evolved this year, particularly as we take a look at that little another drop back pass.
Yeah,
lots of times to talk about it.
Good read by Booker.
Remember last year and then earlier this year, there was always, well, is he the greatest shooter of all time? Is he the best shooter you've ever seen? All these questions, all of the discussion about that, the debates. I'd say it's probably about 98% now.
Yeah.
No one even questions it. And they say, yes, he's the best shooter of all time. There's never been a better shooter than Stephen Curry. He's number one.
And
you hear that from everyone.
You talked about that pass to Draymond with the ball handling and the passing, and that's a discontinued dribble, and that'll be a turnover. Now the new discussion is, where does Steph fit on all-time point guards?
Yes.
You know, the shooting question has been answered, but where does he fit compared to people that have played the point guard position? Klay Thompson curling out that three.
So you got to bring up Stockton. You got to bring up Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson.
Devin Booker, there's a lot to like about Booker. And there's a lot to like about Draymond Green.
Isn't that beautiful? That is poetry in motion there.
And Earl Watson saying, we had a great bucket, and they got a layup off a made basket.
You can see Phoenix transition game is very, very poor. Oh,
Klay nearly had the steal. Hogan with a block.
You talk about your expression, roofed. That's exactly what he was.
And Curry missing that three. We get another opportunity behind the back to Klay. His three, good.
Now they're having a little fun and a little showmanship.
The style, the unselfishness, the highlight reel. This is one solid basketball team, and the skill level for that guy and that backcourt. Enjoy Stephen Klay with 8 made threes tonight.
Armia.com.
City Royals, first baseman.
Warriors expanding the lead with 6:34 remaining in the third. Our McDonald's True Story, Nadine Burke-Harris. Dr. Nadine Burke-Harris from Palo Alto originally got her master's at Harvard University in Public Health and has come back to open the Bayview Child Health Center to help the underserved in the Bay Area.
Terrific.
Go to Warriors.com/Black History, but a salute to Dr. Harris.
I'll tell you, that is what she does. If you read the whole thing, it's terrific.
You get your master's in public health from Harvard, and you come back to make a difference in the Bay Area, and that's just outstanding on every level.
Not easy in Bayview Hunters Point District.
Warriors ball.
She founded that Center for Youth Wellness in 2011.
Yep.
Warriors are 11 of 27 from three-point range, 40.7%. But yeah, they take a lot of threes. They make a lot of threes.
Harrison Barnes right on cue. Long rebound, Steph Curry. Setting up Klay again on the flyby three.
Klay's learning that little pump fake and get a defender just to jump by. Stephen does that so often. Yes, they keep getting better.
And Curry is getting in that triple-double zone. 21, 9, and 8. All in 24 minutes. Booker's never in a hurry. He wanted a foul there, didn't get it.
He also prefers to drive left, it appears. We'll figure that out over the years.
Steph setting up Klay again. Draymond Green will commit the foul. That's the one time that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson get to compete against each other is the three-point shooting contest. Steph got the better a year ago, and Klay said, oh no, I'm ready again.
Rematch.
I hope we're both in the finals.
That's something to watch. I want to see how Harden handles all of that. We saw him. We showed you some highlights from last year when Stephen won it. And I thought Harden was rooting for him. I thought it was very nice, very gracious. He loved him getting hot like he was. That's a nice pass.
Yeah, Tucker knows how to play. Finding Archie Goodwin inside.
But on this team, he has to sometimes be a go-to man, and that is not his role.
No, he's a rugged defender, hustler, rebounder.
And he's a terrific complementary player on a team.
Third Suns team foul.
But this team, as I said before, they've lost 3 of their top 4 scorers. That's over 51 points. Really hurts them.
Yeah, well, Bledsoe and Brandon Knight, very explosive backcourt. We told you they started 7-5. The year before, Hornacek had this team on the cusp of the playoffs. Klay Thompson missing that 3.
He's very disappointed in that. He was wide open.
And that beautiful lob. And Booker has thrown several lobs nicely. I'll tell you, 6 assists for the 19-year-old. Curry, beautiful.
How about that? He waits till the last minute to release after a potential shot blocker goes by. He just understands timing and everything on the floor.
Well, Steve Kerr is going for the kill right now because this is the small unit. 4 minutes left in the third. The lead is 20. And he's trying to run the Suns out of the gym.
Yeah, very different small unit.
Draymond will get to the line.
Barbosa and Brandon Rush in there.
The foul is number 35, Mirza Zelenovic, his third foul.
It's not the death lineup when you got to have Andre Iguodala in there if you say death.
And Harrison. Although the president called it the nuclear lineup. So we have to defer to
semantics.
The number 1 analyst. Jim is my number 1 analyst, but the president analyzes for the world.
I think because of that relationship he already established last year with Stephen Curry playing golf, that he follows this club.
He absolutely does.
Yes.
He absolutely does. And Steph has said that he was so familiar with different guys on the team, and certainly with Draymond and his vociferous attitude towards officials, and I don't know how much downtime you get in the White House, but he's got the Warriors on.
See on that sequence, they do a lot of switching, and there you get a little mismatch inside, but Barbosa handled it. This team switches on defense as much and more than anyone in the league.
Barbosa 3. The Warriors are missing some opportunities to just put Phoenix away.
They're pretty porous around the rim. You don't have to settle for threes. You can leave that up to the guys that are really going to make them all the time, but you can get what you want.
Brandon Rush played some pretty good D, but committed the foul there. Markieff Morris. He and Marcus in the same draft. They live together. They have the same tattoos. It is a twin relationship that is pretty amazing. 13th pick in 2011. Of course, we travel with the twin everywhere with Jarron Collins and his twin brother Jason.
He was the 13th pick, so was Marcus the 12th or the 14th?
Don't put me on the spot. It's one or the other.
I believe he was the 14th.
I think you're right.
I believe he was the 14th. Markieff went first.
Brandon coming back for that missed free throw rebound. And Rush didn't settle for the 3, took it inside. And Teletovic, the long rebound.
I thought you'd come back with, by the way, that
the Van Arsdales, was I going to get all the twins
I
in?
was just going to say, he was drafted first and 13th. He also came into the world about 7 minutes earlier than his brother Marcus.
Okay.
Seniority. He had to be drafted first.
Into the Warriors lineup number 9, Andre Iguodala.
And I love what you bring about Dick and Tom Van Arsdale out of Indiana, 1965. Dick still affiliated. There he is.
Well, you think of, and Stanford has a hand in some of the twins between Brooke and Robin Lopez and Jason and Jarron Collins. And twin brothers that both make the NBA. That's pretty good. We've seen a ton of father-son combinations.
You look at Dick and Tom Van Arsdale, and their stats are almost identical.
Oh, Steph. Made sure he got the foul and just trying to add the bucket.
I'll tell you what he was doing there. He had a basket easily without getting the foul. He pivoted to get the foul. He wanted a three-point play. That is exactly what was on his mind.
Two shots.
You're going to see this little pump fake, he can go by, but watch him come into him. Okay, all he had to do was kind of lean back, and he had an easy layup. But he thought he would make it and get the free throw.
Steph Curry missed a free throw, and that actually causes a buzz in the crowd.
Yeah, he outsmarted himself on that whole play now.
I can't help myself, so I got to finish off.
Yeah.
Goran and Zoran Dragic, too.
Hey.
And I think of brothers that have...
Guess what? This team here should have never let Goran Dragic go. He is a talent.
Teletovic hitting that three. So the Warriors have been having a lot of fun with a 22-point lead. It's at 15 right now. Brandon Rush to the line again.
Number 20, Archie
With this small lineup, Jim, all this spacing is allowing all these drives. You saw Steph get inside, now Brandon again inside.
That's what I'm saying. They're very porous protecting the basket, and you don't have to settle for the threes with this club.
I don't know why you would say that about Phoenix. They're 30th in field goal percentage defense.
and those people out there are not shot blockers, so I say take it to the rim, take it to the iron.
They're 29th in defending the three-point line, so Phoenix defensively had a rough go. Free throw split. And Curry with the quick hands.
I'm amazed he doesn't jam his finger more often. Reaching in, he reaches and pokes a lot. But I just can't recall him having a jammed finger. Well, he's got great hands, and that's part of it. This is going to be free throws. Ball had not been inbounded.
That is exactly correct. Barbosa will be tagged for the foul. You talked about Klay Thompson's three, where he pump faked, let the defender fly by like Stephen does. Steph learned from Barbosa with those finger rolls and flip shots. And I think if you play alongside Andre Iguodala, you probably learn a few tricks defensively in terms of reaching in and how to strip a ball and when to do it.
Right.
Into the Suns lineup, number 0, Orlando Johnson. Releasing Archie Goodwin.
Goodwin leaves, and we haven't talked about Archie. He was actually part of the Warriors. He was drafted by Oklahoma City.
Involved in the Nemanja Nedovic
That's exactly right.
transaction.
Along with Malcolm Lee.
Draymond having it knocked away. And he thought he would be shooting free throws.
Warriors ball.
Draymond's been on good technical behavior. We do not want to see Draymond get to the 16 where he would have a game suspension. But he is not talking much less.
He flirted with it last night against Houston.
Block shot. Steph stayed with it. Couldn't grab the rebound. For the final 2 minutes of the third, and Phoenix making a bid to get back in the ball game after being down 22. Teletovic makes it an 11-point game. They've cut the deficit in half.
Under 2 minutes.
Exasperation from Steve Kerr there.
Barbosa somehow
How about that?
spun down, got back up, and laid it in.
That is an athletic move in and of itself.
Tucker misfiring. Phoenix wants to up-tempo with the Warriors. They say, bring it on. And Curry lays it in.
Stephen Curry.
Orlando Johnson's defending with his back as his man goes out of the lane, and Curry comes right on his heels. He never knows it. Those are the little missteps defensively. That's another reason he's been in the D-League.
Booker, the facilitator. And Tucker hits a corner three.
The second one today.
He's a 34% three-point shooter. Final minute of the third. And Tucker called for the foul.
Looked like a pretty good block, and Tucker's clear at the other end. Now you're going to see here, if you use the board, maybe you get it off. But Brandon Rush was going for a dunk at the front of the rim.
Brandon Rush to the line.
That gave Tucker a little time to recover and also gave him a target. But I'm not criticizing Brandon Rush for that, because I don't know, last couple of years I don't think he would ever make a move like that. Be too tentative to jump because of that leg injury that he had. And he's come around this year. He's earned another contract, whether it be here or somewhere else.
Brandon's got 6 free throws in the game. It's almost half of his season total. Teletovic misfiring. Brandon back to Barbosa. Nicely done.
Nice play. Keep it hot potato.
Warriors should get the final shot here. There's Markieff Morris, an easy one.
I'll tell you, Booker sees a lot too. That was a terrific pass. Right down the gut on the bounce.
Phoenix scored so quickly that they'll get the ball back. 14-point lead at the half, and that's the margin right now. Iguodala, he just took Tucker off the floor.
He could do that, I said in the first half, a lot more often. When he gets it going, he's big and strong.
Shot clock off. Orlando Johnson at 5. Markieff Morris a 3. And that will do it for the third quarter. So Phoenix game came from 22 down to push it to 11. The Warriors looking for win number 48. 16-point lead as we head into the fourth.
Have you or a loved
Our Toyota game summary with the Warriors playing excellent defense in the second quarter. The offense going wild in the first and third. Curry's got 26. Devin Booker's had a nice game. 12 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds for the 19-year-old. Klay Thompson with 16 and 4 made threes, bouncing back from distance. And we head into the fourth with a 16-point lead. 3 questions to be answered here, Jim. Will they get their 11th win in a row?
Right.
Will they move to 48-4, as no team has never done? And will Steph Curry get an assist and a rebound and get a triple-double?
His third one of the season, it will be, if he accomplishes that. 8th in his career.
Mo Spades pick and pop. Missing the jumper there. Barbosa, Barnes, Iguodala, Spades, and Livingston to begin the fourth. Teletovic is back down more than we've ever seen him do.
It's just stagnant offense.
And he will be rewarded with free throws. Not quite sure what Harrison Barnes is supposed to do there.
First Warriors team foul. Mirza to the line, shooting 2.
Remember Mirza Teletovic in Brooklyn. Very good three-point shooter. And Steve Kerr just said what we were discussing. If a guy turns around and jumps into you, what are you supposed to do? Get out of his way? Warriors have expanded their available stock of jerseys. Chinese New Year jerseys been added to it. Every player, every jersey, every fan at Warriors.com. Teletovic, good free thrower, not going to bolt down. Orlando Johnson, PJ Tucker, Alex Len, with Booker and Teletovic for Phoenix. Harrison Barnes missing that 3. Spades took it away from Len. Good offensive rebound. Oh, with the activity level. And a nice block from Johnson coming from the weak side. And lost the handle trying to get it to Tucker. Last night, it was this second unit that opened up that game against Houston. They took care of the damage. Starters didn't have much to do. Ball hopping around with the shot clock at 7. Harrison Barnes couldn't quite get it in on the floater. And a foul on Len.
His second unit also had 42 points against Oklahoma City. They were big coming off the bench.
You know, that's an innocuous little play. But Harrison Barnes drew a foul on Len by just pursuit of the ball. I think he has an opportunity to be an outstanding offensive rebounder. With his athleticism, Barbosa missing the reverse, and there's Harrison Barnes on the offensive glass. And Livingston unable to capitalize. The Warriors have opened 0 for 6 here in the fourth. And Len, the deep jumper. Livingston and Spates, a rare miscommunication. And that will get Klay Thompson into the game.
Warriors lineup 11, Klay Thompson.
We got a 12-point game here. In the NBA, that is nothing in 10 minutes.
Ledovic misfiring. Spates with a rebound, but took it all the way out of bounds.
If the Warriors go on a win, this will be 6 straight over Phoenix. Used to come down here for years and years. Tough to win on this court, but no longer.
Orlando Johnson inside. We got a 10-point game. Livingston will draw the foul. He shot it. Never dribbled again.
They're going to say no shot at all. Ball on the side.
The officiating seminar in the summer, I got to ask what continuation is. We've had some curious ones in the last couple weeks.
Well, by rule again, you got to score it. But it's
Count the basket.
Oh, good.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. The officials talked. They did not do that in Philadelphia on the Iguodala 3.
Yeah, Trey Maddox got a little help there.
Good job, Ronnie Garrettson, Gary Zielinski, and Trey Maddox.
Got a 3-point play.
Use your
There it
partners and say, hey, never dribbled again. It's continuation. Good. That's the way the crew should work together. Foul off the ball. Livingston and Orlando Johnson getting tied up.
The fouls, number 34, Sean Livingston, his second foul.
They're going to say, okay, Sean, we're going to show you just because you proved us right on that last one. You know, you can't do anything. We're going to blow a whistle on you. All right? We're still in charge.
Klay Thompson, beautiful defense. Read that passing lane. Klay's three-pointers, perfect.
That was lazy defense, pursuing a little push from behind, but he never caught up with Klay Thompson.
One of your keys to the game, a bounce back for Klay. 5 made threes tonight.
That's a nice bounce.
After making only 1 in the previous 2 games.
Johnson loves to go one-on-one. Nice pass there.
Spates waited and then blocked the shot. What a play by Mo Spates. Didn't buy the pump fake. Waited for Tucker and then sent it away. 8:54. There's one of the best two-way players in the game. The steal, don't forget he's an elite shooter.
Welcome to Cache Creek, where
Performance. We fill out the reserves in the East with John Wall, Isaiah Thomas. Pau Gasol is going for the injured teammate Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan. Millsap, Bosch, and Andre Drummond going for the first time. Isaiah Thomas going for the first time. Only Western player in his first All-Star game, Draymond Green.
4.9 on the shot clock.
That is a quality group of players right there.
You just look at James Harden, though. The team is 27 and 27. Toronto sneaking up on Cleveland for the best record in the East. They had won 14 out of 15 games.
Alex Len continues to work the offensive glass. So Booker and Len, but you're wondering about Phoenix and where they build and what are their foundational pieces. Devin Booker showed me a lot. A career best in assists tonight.
Yeah, he's got 9, right? And he's a good player. He's going to be even better.
Livingston had that ball blocked. That'll be Phoenix ball. You liked T.J. Warren too, Jim, another young player that's injured, but We think of Phoenix players in the future. That's an offensive foul. Spates played great defense and so good that Len just tried to ward him off with a free arm.
You've seen Lynn go outside, face up, and shoot jump shots, right? He's more comfortable doing that.
Yep.
Because he got the ball right in the sweet spot for a big man. And I would say for a big man from the past. Back to the basket. And those moves, a big man back to the basket, footwork, everything like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had, they're a thing of the past. I mean, he had great position there, ended up offensive foul. Made nothing with that. And no criticism, it's just the way the game is played now. Not many people know how to play with their back to the basket from the center's position.
Klay Thompson,
He wanted a foul.
having that knocked away. And Klay didn't give up on the play. See, that's the difference. If that happens on a poor team, you're frustrated that you felt you were fouled. You lag behind. Klay sprints all the way back and makes sure that Phoenix doesn't score.
A while ago, a player, I won't name who, but did not hustle back on Klay, and Klay dropped down a 3 because he just didn't run.
Harrison Barnes missing from the baseline. And that's a foul on Spates on the rebound. Now, Klay's play there, his teammates will notice that, and the coaches will notice that. You're right under the bucket. You felt you got hacked. Instead, you sprint 94 feet and help your teammates block a shot and save a layup. And that's why I think that list is very short at the position you played, Jim, at the off guard. Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler. There's not a lot of great two-way guards in the league right now. A lot of good offensive off guards, but they can really play that D. Markieff Morris missing, and Orlando Johnson, how did that not go down? It's a 14-point game, 7 minutes left. Spates running the floor, laying it in and drawing the foul.
Transition defense. It has just been a problem with Phoenix all year long, and the Warriors know it. They had a 4-on-3 there. Sean Livingston could have thrown it back out to his left, had a three-point shooter, but you get the sure thing, maybe a three-point play.
.23 Warrior fast break points.
So now 7 points in 13 minutes. He's slowed down. The last 2 games, he's had 30 points in 29-plus minutes.
Last night, 15 points in 12 minutes for Mo.
He had 15 points game before Oklahoma City in 17 minutes.
Morris has doubled there, and the Warriors played that perfectly. Klay, another steal. Behind the back, and Livingston was going to cram it, but he was fouled. That would have been the play of the night.
How about Livingston? This young man who was told he would never play again. And here he is, Livingston, 12 years later, doing things like this. I just call him like a pogo stick. I mean, he can climb the imaginary rope.
I would have loved for him to dunk that because Klay's assist was spectacular there.
Yeah.
Full flight behind the back bounce pass with the left hand by Klay Thompson. That was pretty.
Tell you what, over the last 15 games, Sean Livingston has played extremely well.
Well, when you talk to Sean, and it's a little bit like Bogut, you know, he had a catastrophic injury. And he just says sometimes physically he just doesn't feel good. I mean, that's why they rest him and sit him sometimes. But then he gives you that smile and that wink, Jim. And he says, but there are nights where I feel bouncy.
and he does have a bounce.
He does.
Well, Ron Adams asked him earlier, assistant coach Ron Adams asked him earlier, how do you feel? He played 16 minutes last night. Against Oklahoma City, he played 15 and a half, so that's not too many. But they do have to monitor his minutes.
Yeah.
There's Ron, or excuse me, Ron Adams, yes. Always thinking, always cooking up something. Got his defensive coaching started at Fresno State.
Spates missing that three. Ron Adams is the parent that is never satisfied no matter what his kid does.
That's a good way to put it. Yep. You can always improve. You can always be better. Don't be satisfied. Don't be too happy because you did a lot of things wrong.
I can just
Dad,
see.
I was 13 for 17. Yeah, but 2 of those you missed, you should have made.
No, Ron Adams is the kid with straight A's for 4 years who comes home with 1 B. What's with the B? 5:57 remaining in the Warrior lead at 18.
Ever since
Warrior lead at 18. Jim Barnett wanted a bounce-back game from Klay Thompson, and he has delivered 22 points, 5 of 11 on threes. His usual stellar defense. And Klay has looked like himself tonight, Jim, and he and Steph together have combined for 48 points.
He's got a terrific line. And he's got the biggest plus-minus of any player on the Warriors squad right now in this particular game. He's plus 23. Stephen Curry's plus 12, ironically.
Klay Thompson going to Toronto for his 2nd straight All-Star appearance. Goes to Markieff Morris. He's got that post up on the left block down pat. 19, 9 of 17 shooting. Orlando Johnson, pretty good defense on Klay there. Shot clock at 8. Tried to get it to Speights, overplayed nicely. Still Warrior ball with 2.4, but Ronnie Garretson may jump in. He's going to help out. Steph Curry has not played in this 4th quarter, Jim. That would be his 15th game with no 4th. Speights had to beat the clock there.
Yeah, the leading scorer in the league, someone who averages 29-9. 15 games not playing in the 4th quarter. Well, he's had stretches where he would score a point a minute in consecutive games.
Chandler tried to keep it alive. And then Chandler finally guiding it in. Well, if you add one more time for Steph, make it 16. He's missed 4 games, right, for rest. They've just been all 4th quarters.
Yeah, interesting. That'd be 120 points.
Missed 2 games due to injury. Livingston pretty clever inside, and he will get to the line. Very quietly, Sean has done a tremendous job free throwing. We talk about that as an area. Steph's brilliant from the line. Klay's outstanding. But for Sean to be at 90%, Jim, in finishing lineups, in crunch time situations, you know, the Warriors struggle from the line at times. And it's good to have another 90% free thrower.
But they've been good tonight. They were 10 of 11 at the half. Right now, 18 of 22. We'll see what Livingston does on these.
Grab that Chinese New Year apparel at Warriors.com. All the accessories and novelty items.
Livingston 4 or 5 from the line tonight.
Harrison's improved dramatically from the line. Draymond's focused on it in the last month after having a very rough January. Good one inside. Jason Thompson is coming to the scorer's table. He will get some run here. And without Ezeli, without McAdoo, can't all be Speights as Klay misses that 3. Orlando Johnson is...
He forces the issue sometimes.
Yeah, he doesn't have any fear. Speights' basket hanging.
That's a cardinal sin. You've got someone going at the other end on a 1-on-2 fast break, as Phoenix was doing with Orlando, and you don't protect your basket. That's just a basic fundamental. You 5 men are out there. At least one has to stay back.
Yeah, 27 Warrior fast break points. Johnson missing there, and
It's pretty easy to do. You look around, you've got 5 guys in purple, and if you say, well, I've got 2 ahead, I can still keep going. And if I'm back there and I say, oh, there are 4 people ahead of me, maybe I should be the protector.
Well, you always talked about Bill Russell. He wouldn't even come to half court.
Barely.
And, and Bogut reads those situations very well, too.
Exactly. And they protect the basket and prevent a lot of 2-point goals from the other team that way. They call immediate foul on Thompson for holding.
Now, we have seen the deeper reserves of the Warriors be called upon this year. When Barbosa was out, Ian Clark played. When Barnes was out, he had Brandon Rush play. Ezeli is out now, and Spates and maybe JT, they have to be there. Is that the depth of the Warriors has been tested by injuries this year, not so much last year at all. David Lee was out, but then he was able to come back. But the Warriors have had to kick in at various positions with some significant injuries this season.
Well, Jason Thompson, I could say by statistic that he's played the fewest minutes on the team.
Yes.
But he hasn't because of the injury to Michael James McAdoo. Right. But if you throw that out, he'd have the fewest number of minutes. So every time he gets on the floor, he's got something to prove. He should come out there to try to get more minutes and play the type of basketball that he's capable of doing.
The lob to Chandler is broken up.
Another foul.
Now, Steve Kerr also was asked about Kevon Looney, and he says, you know, he's still recovering from that hip. Is that we can spot him and put him a couple minutes here and there, but the idea that Kevon would start playing significant minutes day in, day out, that's a little unlikely. But you're not going to see Festus in March. So the Warrior big rotation. You know, Bogut, they also don't want to run out there for 30 minutes. They're trying to manage Andrew for the playoffs, too. Question. So that's going to be the big story after the All-Star break.
And with that, you got to keep a guy that shoots 1,000% on the bench. Kevon Looney. He's never missed a shot in his NBA career thus far.
I like that.
1 of 1 in 1 game. But that is 1,000%.
Yes, it is.
Small sample size.
Put it this way,
he's going to be good.
He's got the whole All-Star break to tell everybody he's 1,000%. Clay unable to reverse that. Warriors probably need at least one more bucket here. Up 13 with 2.5 left. Markieff Morris missing there. Of course, you could limit Phoenix to 92 and he'd be just fine. And Steve Kerr is going to use the timeout here.
Timeout, Warriors.
So 2:24 remaining. The All-Star break is 2 minutes away. Well, Steph Curry has not played in the 4th quarter. And the Warriors have been a little indifferent offensively with only 14 points. But our Ram shots of the game, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. The MVP entertained them in Phoenix tonight. Banking in threes.
Stepping back into threes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're going Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, Peoria, Glendale.
Crossover dribbles.
All the suburbs here in Phoenix.
He can score in a variety of ways. And no one in this league handles the ball like he does.
So Ian Clark in. Steve Kerr leaving Clay out there just to make sure the Warriors get one more bucket. Well, there's a foul there, but I like what Jason Thompson just did. You know, Jim, he didn't turn and look face up for his own shot. He was being like Bogut or Spates and facilitating the cutter. And for Jason, that's learning the system is something that they've talked to him about.
Helping a teammate get to the basket.
And here comes Mr. 1000.
Well, we'll see how that plays out, right? I don't think Steve Kerr is listening to us.
Well, your voice does carry. I mean, it's...
It may carry, but not much weight.
It's at Barnett Fitzgerald talking again. They should be quiet. So Clay and Steph with 50 together. Really half the Warriors' productivity. Booker three.
This kid is going to be really
He's
smart.
good.
Something special. 19 years of age.
15 points, 10 assists, that's a career best, and 6 rebounds.
Regulation.
Went to Kentucky. Did anybody go more than 1 year of those 4? Rhetorical question. You like that?
I like Ian Clark in that mid-range shot. I think Goodwin may have went more than 1 year, but I have to double check that. Kevon Looney. And there it goes, Jim. His perfect record goes by the boards. Looney had an opportunity there. Goodwin runs it back.
I like the size of Archie, too. At 6'5", to me, he's got a perfect basketball body. Got to work on the defense.
Looney's going to shoot a 3 and bank it in. His first NBA 3. The whole bench goes nuts. A banked-in 3 for the rookie. So Kevon Looney is 2 for 3 in his NBA career. The Warriors have another three-point shooter.
Well, Greg and Kalina can talk about it on the postgame live.
That's going to be funny for the youngsters. Talking to Kevon about banking in a 3. Goodwin.
Yeah, he railed that in.
Yeah, he's found his offense a little bit in the fourth.
He's got some offense.
So the Warriors have to shoot it one more time. No team has ever been 48-4 in NBA history. The Warriors are going to win 11 in a row heading into the break. They will have exactly 30 games left. 25-5 would be an historic finish to the season. And there's a lot of road games to get through, as Goodwin will get the freebie. And that will be our final score. 112-104. Warriors shoot only 41%, but they did enough in that second quarter. Steph did not have to play in the fourth. It's all-star break for Curry, Draymond, and Clay on their way to Toronto. And the best start in NBA history continues. And the defending champs come to Phoenix, win their 11th in a row. And they are off until the following Friday in Portland. Warrior Postgame Live, presented by Honda, is coming your way as the Warriors win it in the desert right now.